Hello and welcome to the Scholar IAS. Very good evening. I'm Sekhar Chaudhary, your faculty for the current affairs. And Scholar IAS is the one-stop platform for your UPSC and state civil services exams. So in the series of current affairs lecture, today I bring you the lecture of geography and environment. So let's begin our lecture. So, weekly current affairs, geography and environment. Arctic warming is causing heat waves in India. So, you all know that we have Arctic Circle and there is a lot of ice. So, there is warming of this area and it is causing heat waves in India. So, the heat is there is more heat in the part of South Asia and India. So over the last 3 decades, 30 years, the average annual temperature of India has increased by more than 0.7 degree centigrade. So it may be 0.7 may look very less as in the quantitative term, but when we talk about the terms, that is in the case of environment and the nature, for the wildlife and for the various plants and animals, this is a huge change, right? In many insects may die and many more may have more uh, devastating effect on the agriculture. So this has caused unprecedented heat waves and number of deaths across the country. Apart from the environmental factor, direct linkage to death and heat wave conditions. So what is heat wave? So what is a heat wave? The definition of heat wave by Indian Meteorological Department is when there is the temperature rise of 40 degree, when there is more than 40 degree in the plains and greater than 30 degree in the hilly area. So you all know Gangetic Plain or the central part of India, all these area, if there is more than 40 degree centigrade, then that area is under the heat wave. And so goes with the hilly areas. A recent study by Indian and Brazilian scientists have predicted that precursor for these heat waves could be warming of the Arctic caused by global warming. So why there is a link that this heat wave may have the effect. Why? The effect goes to this, the Arctic warming, right? So Arctic temperatures increase with the rate of more than twice than global average. So whatever temperature we are seeing the rise, the Arctic temperatures are increasing twice of that speed. And there is a lot of melting of the ice, breaking of the ice, and then the rising of the temperature and rising of the sea levels across the oceans. Okay. So global warming is increase in the temperature of the earth due to various human activities, while climate changes disturbances change in the weather pattern due to global warming. So though in general terms these two terms are very used interchangeably, but there is a difference. So climate change is disturbance in the change in the weather pattern, right? And global warming is increase in the temperature. So Indian heat waves occur due to theoretical mechanism called quasi-resonant amplification. So this is a new term that is being that came in the newspaper, and still not very, you won't find too much of literature on this apart from some research papers. So there are research papers on this, and there was a research papers by the various scientists, and they have given a theoretical mechanism why these heat waves are happening. So extreme weather and jet stream, under an extreme jet stream pattern known as quasi-resonance amplification, the wet and stormy areas, these blue areas, wet and stormy disturbances, right? And hot and dry areas, these areas, this. So under the normal jet stream pattern, you see these are not very enlarged and they are confined, right? But extreme quasi-resonant amplification pattern, they are large in number, and then bigger in pattern also. So intensify, expand, and get stuck over one area for longer time. So these phenomenal areas get stuck over a long time, and that is the case with India. So what is quasi-resonant amplification? So the Indian heat wave occurs due to phenomenon called planetary Rossby waves. So what are Rossby waves? Actually, what are first understand jet stream. So jet stream are upper air circulation, which has a circulation across the globe, and they are in polar area and they are near the equatorial region in the tropic areas, right? So these pattern also help in many things, particularly for the aeroplanes. They can use the energy of these kind of waves. Apart from that, there is also phenomenon called as planetary Rossby wave. So what Rossby wave do? They are again the waves that we see in the atmosphere, and they exchange the heat from the equator region. So you all know equator is 0 degree, and over here the heat is, I mean, the sunlight is maximum. And in the tropics, if I draw a tropic of Cancer over here, so 23/2. So these areas have maximum heat. So these Rossby wave transfer this heat towards the polar regions, and the coldness from here to the region of equator. So they kind of help in maintaining the balance. These slow planetary Rossby waves help a planet to have the optimum kind of weather. So these are large scale disturbances of the atmospheric circulation. QRA I am talking about, quasi-resonant amplification, is a large scale disturbance of the atmospheric circulation. When these disturbed atmospheric circulation pattern clash with the similar large scale atmospheric movement that arise horizontally. So one is these waves are circulating, and then there is horizontal rise of the another set of movement from the earth, and when they collide, it results in the phenomenon called quasi-resonant amplification. And when this quasi-resonant amplification stays over an area like India, it results in the heat wave. So this is all I want to explain to you about the quasi-resonant amplification, about the heat waves in India, and about the relation of the global warming and Arctic heating and the heating in the Indian subcontinent. So QRA mechanism has also caused many natural devastating events. So you have already seen that the blue zone, the stormy areas, the blue zone is wet areas, right? So the QRA mechanism has also caused many naturally devastating events. 2003 European heat wave, Russian heat wave, and 2010 Pakistan floods. So these were extreme conditions. Those were caused by the QRA mechanism. The study concludes that Indian heat wave can now be predicted for 4 days in advance. So the meteorological Met department can predict then when the heat waves are going to occur. So therefore necessary steps must be taken in advance to mitigate the impact, right? So all our space satellites and our advanced system which predict the monsoon, or for that matter various rainfalls, could also help in predicting the QRA and associated heat waves, and this could save lives. This could save lives and also could save lot of agriculture produce by telling the farmers in advance that there could be heat waves. Okay, so next is the weekly weekly current affairs. Next topic is African elephant face growing risk of extinction. IUCN Red List is saying so. So African elephant has what now? Let me tell you about African elephant. So in India, you see elephant, you all must have seen, I believe. African elephant has two species. One is forest elephant and one is savanna elephant. So until 2008, IUCN considered both the species as one, fine, for various reasons, for various calculations, assessment purpose, but two species has been separately calculated for their current status, right? So one is facing more danger, one is facing more danger and the threat from the another. So savanna elephants are larger in size and having curving tusk. So what are tusks? These the kind of uh, teeth they have. So what is a savanna? Savanna is an area. Savanna is the area in the African region, and it is basically the region which has grasslands and uh, very few trees in it, right? So more of a area which is having a lot of grass. So over there you will see a lot of big necked animals. Fine. Okay. Pardon me for the disturbance. Okay, a savanna is a mixed woodland grassland ecosystem characterized by trees being sufficiently widely spaced so that the canopy does not close. The open canopy allows sufficient light to reach the ground and support the unbroken herbaceous layers consisting of grass. So lot of grass and wide spread trees. It means one tree over here, then apart from that 30-20 meter there would be another tree, not like the tropical vegetation that we have in India, like rainforest or tropical forest, where or the forest that in one of the previous lecture I have discussed, the Shola forest. Do you remember? I hope you remember Shola forest in southern part of India, southern India. So these forests are not the forests that are very dense. Okay, so African elephant, what is the difference between African elephant and the Indian elephant? African elephant has much larger ears. You can see them, big ears, and they use these ears to fan themselves and to beat the heat. So they are kind of a fan, like hand fan we have. Okay, so these resemble the shape of African continent, and the ears of Indian elephant is small. The tusk of the African elephant is bigger as compared to Indian elephant, and the head is more rounded shape. Rather, in Indian case, it is having a kind of a hump. Okay, twin domed shaped, right? You see, twin dome shaped in India, and one rounded head, which means there is a divot line running up the head. This only male Asian elements, only male Asian have the tusk, these ones. Okay, but in African elephant, both female and male have the tusk. African elephant had wrinkled skin as compared to the Indian elephant. Their skin has more wrinkles. Okay, so IUCN, International Union for Conservation of Nature, founded on the 5th of October 1948, Fontainebleau, France, right? Okay, so now it has headquarters in Gland, Switzerland. I have covered this in previous lectures also. The International Union for Conservation of Nature Red List of Threatened Species is the world's most comprehensive database on global conservation status of the biological species. So red list, do remember. Okay, so the new assessment by the IUCN underscore the persistent pressure that is being faced by the two species of the African elephant. That is, one is savanna and one is which lives in dense jungles. Okay, that is poaching for ivory and human encroachment. So the increase in population is fueling the people to move towards the countryside and eventually cut the forest and move there, because you have to feed the increased population as well. And then there is poaching. So ivory is being used as in many of the things. For example, in China, people have furniture of ivory. Then ivory is used for bangles. Ivory is used for for the decoration purpose. And from ivory, people make various kind of decorating stuff. Okay. So according to IUCN, the current status of savanna elephants are endangered, while the forest elephants are critically endangered. So forest elephants are facing more danger. According to IUCN data, the population of African savanna elephant found in variety of habitat has decreased by 60% over the 50 years. So in African savanna, there has been a almost half number of decrease in the almost half the population has decreased in the last 50 years. And for the forest element, that has been even rapid. That is 86% decrease in last 3 decades. So there is a huge decrease in the number, and that's why they found their place in critically endangered. And these savanna African elephants are in endangered area. Okay, so this is the African map, and over here you can see this area. This is the area from where the equator passes. So equator kind of passes from the Uganda, Kenya, and Gabon, Somalia, and Central Democratic of Congo, and Democratic Republic of Congo. Fine. So these are the areas where the 0-degree line equator passes through, and savanna is very near to this area. Fine. This area, this area you see over here on both the sides of equator. Over here. So when you go away from the equator, the rainfall decreases. So the maximum trees you will always find near the equator. As you go towards the other two sides, the extremes, you will find less and less amount of vegetation because the rainfall is decreasing. So this is a total desert area. This is Namibian desert, this is Sahara, and over here the in between transition area, in between the forest and in between the desert, is savanna. So over here there are trees, but they are widespread trees and large amount of grass, because the rainfall can only feed the grass, not very large amount of trees. So yeah, so some population of the forest elephants were rebounding due to successful conservation measures such as taken by Gabon and Republic of Congo. Gabon is a country which is somewhere here, and the Republic of Congo is somewhere here. So the efforts that these two countries have taken has shown some improvement in the number of the elephants that we have in Africa. In southern Africa's Kavango Zambezi Trans-Frontier Conservation Area. So over here you see this is Angola, this is Namibia. We are talking about somewhere about this area in this map, right? So over here you can see it is Namibia. Over here you can see Angola, and this is South Africa. Okay, so and very near to it's Botswana and Zimbabwe. So Zambia, all these areas have, you can see a lot of these the big lakes over here also. Okay, so this area has southern Africa's Kavango Zambezi Transfrontier area. So Kavango Zambezi Transfrontier area is somewhere where there is no stoppage by the international borders in the wildlife movement. So over here you see large amount of wildlife parks, national parks across the borders of many countries: Zimbabwe, Zambia, Zimbabwe, Botswana. So so this area has also seen savanna elephant numbers stable or growing. So there could be a question on the Kavango Zambia Trans-Frontier Conservation Area, also on the savanna elephants and also forest elephants. So now you know about the African elephant and the problems that this creature is facing. So that was all about the today's lecture. Okay, so if you have liked today's lecture, please do subscribe us on Skholar IAS and please press the bell icon so that you can get the any information about the new video very promptly. Apart from that, please do visit us on the Scholar IAS app that we have if you want to prepare by using app, and we also have our website, that is scholars, www.scholars.com. Over there you can have a lot of updated and new study material. So that is what all we have today, and thank you for watching the lecture. We will surely meet very soon. Thank you.